श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदनाय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरकृषे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नस्तप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी निरंतरा श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। The topic of today is what Prahlad learned in the movie. So is it text number 32 or I thought it was 33? But anyway, you said 32, we will read from text number 32. And just the reference to that this text number 32 is attached to a 30 and 32. 30 gives about the various activities of the bhakti, what kind of activities are there in bhakti, and uh, what is the result of that bhakti. So in this 33 onward, it is about the result of the bhakti. But one thing, serving a bona fide spiritual master in the previous verses, already read that the items of bhakti, main items, that is serving a bona fide spiritual master. Offer all one's possession to Guru or Krishna, associating with saintly persons, worshipping the Supreme Lord, hearing the glories of the Lord with faith, and glorifying the Lord's divine qualities and activities, always meditating on the Lord's lotus feet, worshipping the Lord's deity according to the injunctions of the Shastra and Guru, and remembering the Lord is the Paramatma situated in the core of everyone's heart. Everybody is part. There is Paramatma in everyone, every living being. So we should see that we should not take advantage of those souls and try to help them turn towards Krishna. And so that is the duty. Yare dekho tare ko Krishna Upadesh. Hamara agya hai Guru tare desh. That by my injunction, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that you become a spiritual master. That means to teach to them about Krishna consciousness, turn their gaze from materialism to spiritualism, so that they could their life would become successful. So by performing the above activities of bhakti, one can attain these are the following results. We'll read text number 32. Hari sarveshu bhuteshu bhagavan asta ishvarah iti bhutani manasa kamaste sadhu manayet. One should always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his localized representation as the Paramatma. Paramatma is sitting in everybody's heart, and one should always remember that Paramatma is there in even an ant, or even a small tiny insect, or even a virus, which is situated in the core of every living being's heart. So Paramatma is there. It's not only there in each living being, but even in all the atoms and in between the atoms, Paramatma is there. So at least to the living being, we should recognize that he is our brother or sister. We should not exploit them. So thus, one should offer respect to every living entity according to that living entity's position or manifestation. So respect you give, but not that you like say if there is a lion, you would not go, oh, he is my brother, so let me embrace him. No, or if it is a snake, you keep your distance, but according to uh, position or manifestation, we should respect each and every living being. So, purport, Hari Sarveshu Bhuteshu. This statement is sometimes misunderstood by unscrupulous person who wrongly concluded because Hari, the supreme personality of God, is situated in every living entity. Every living entity is therefore Hari. No, every living entity is not Hari, but Paramatma is a representation of the Shirodaksha Vishnu, but not that living entity has become God. Not like God has become like oh Daridra, they are also Daridra Narayan. It talks about this. Uh, Such foolish persons do not distinguish between Atma and the Paramatma. Yes, person is part and parcel of Krishna, that is Atma, but Paramatma is localized aspect, that is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But that man or a dog or a cat, where there is Paramatma, does not become Paramatma. He is sitting just there, just for us to look, or when we could turn to him and get directions from him and act properly on a particular level or in a human level. Atma is living entity, and the Paramatma is the supreme personality of Godhead. The individual living entity, however, is different from the Paramatma. Atma and Paramatma is not the one and the same. People sometimes say in India, Atma so Paramatma. जो आत्मा है वही परमात्मा. No, Paramatma, there are two different entities. Just like two birds are sitting in a green tea tree, and then one, and the bird is there. One bird is a Atma, another bird is Paramatma. Atma's bird is eating the sweet and sour fruits of the tree, and he never looks towards Paramatma. Paramatma is waiting that when we will look to him, then we will serve him, we will take instruction from him, and he wants us to liberate. So such a benevolent or such a merciful Lord that he comes as Paramatma and everybody leaves us, but he goes even to the hellish planet. There are millions and millions of lifetimes that we are here in the material world, but Paramatma is always with you. So we should respect Paramatma and respect Paramatma and every other living being that there is Paramatma, and we should behave according to what body they are in. Not that we should think that, oh, here is dog, so let me embrace him, or let me be with him, or snake. So we should see that if a snake is not on the level of Mahabhavat, but if they are Mahabhavat like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could make the animals a dance of. Animals speak about chant the holy name of the Lord, but we do not have that potency. When the Rasikananda Prabhu, a mad elephant was sent by the Muslim king, and and he was drunk, and Mahavat was goading him to come and crush Rasikananda. But Rasikananda Prabhu initiated him in the way, and he gave him the name Gopal. And Gopal came because Paramatma, he could touch the Paramatma directly, and Atma in the heart of that elephant. So he bowed down to him, he put him on his back, and uh, so in that way, and he was serving the devotees throughout his life. And then he was taken by the Muslim king, stolen kind of, and he would not eat anything. Sorry for holding you. So I have some cough and cold, and that's why I had to go to spit out. So we are talking about Paramatma feature, that is Paramatma and Atma. They are two separate. One is the Supreme Lord, and we are just as the servant. Jiver Supoy, Krishna, Nitya Das. So therefore, Harihi, Sarveshu Bhuteshu means that the Hari is situated as Paramatma, not as Atma. Although Atma is part of Paramatma, offering respect to every living entity means offering respect to the Paramatma situated in every living entity. We say Prabhu, Prabhu. That means we are respecting the Paramatma who is there in everyone's heart. So we could say Prabhu because Prabhu means the master. So we are respecting to the giving obeisances to the master. We could call everybody as Prabhu. One should not misunderstand every living entity to be the Paramatma. Sometimes unscrupulous people designate a living entity as Daridara Narayan, Swami Narayan. So Daridara Narayan, Swami is sannyasi, but he's not Narayan. And they worship each other as Namo Narayan. You are Narayan, I am Narayan, we are all one. That is impersonalist philosophy or even Mayavad philosophy. And Daridara Narayan, is, even Vivekananda also said, that, don't you see these people littering in the street, these poor people, and look, God is there. As if the owner of all three planetary system and all the universes, and above that, all the spiritual world and all the Vaikuntha Loka, we are calling him Daridara Narayan. That's the most sinful activity that we could call Harijan is Daridara Narayan. How Harijan is Harijan, Jan of the, we are all Harijan. Harijan, Hari means the people of God, Hari, Ishwar. So Daridara Narayan and these terms are very, very misnomer. It has been spread like anything. So one should clearly understand that although Narayan is situated in the core of the heart of every living entity never becomes Narayan. The text number 33. So we'll read 2, 3 verses and then we will talk about them. So now these verses, this following verses, 33, 34, 35, they talk about the results of bhakti activity. Secondary, so primary results and secondary results. Primary results are one attains the platform of rati or loving service to the Lord. That is the first thing. Rati means almost like a prem. It is one variety of prem. So it begins with Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Tata Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivratti Shad. Then there is a form like we develop attachment, asak attachment, and then Anartha Nivratti attachment, and then there is other stages that comes to all the way to the bhav and prem. Asakti is attachment. So the secondary result of this of bhakti is one can cut down the influence of lust, anger, greed, illusion, badness, and jealousy. Nirjita sada vargaihi. So the verse is evam जित षड्वर्गैः क्रियते भक्तिः ईश्वरः ईश्वरे वासुदेवे भगवती यया संलभ्यते रतिः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By this activity means what we read in the last verse, that one should always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Paramatma sitting in everyone's heart. One is able to cut down the influence of the enemies, namely lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and jealousy. And when thus situated, one can render service to the Lord. In this way, one surely attains the platform of loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport is mentioned in verses 30 and 31. One's first duty is to approach the spiritual master, the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are to begin rendering service to Him. And so you serve Guru Padashraya, the first item out of 64 items that has been described in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and other literatures. The top one is Guru Padashraya. Prahlad Maharaj proposed that from the very beginning of life, Omara Achare Pragya. Omar means from 1 to 5 year age. A small child should be trained to serve the spiritual master while living at the Gurukul. Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan Danto Gurorhitam. For the benefit of the Guru, one should live at the house of the spiritual master or at his place in serve menial service. This is the beginning of the spiritual life. Guru Padashraya Sadhu Vartmanu Vartanam Sadhu Dharma Pracha. By following the instruction of the Guru and the Shastras, the disciple attains the stage of devotional service and becomes unattached to possessions. Whatever he possesses, he offers to spiritual master, the Guru, who engages him in Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Mundanam Nashyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. The disciple follows strictly and in this way learns how to control his senses. Then by using his pure intelligence, he gradually our intelligence is contaminated by Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mada, Matsarya. He gradually becomes a lover of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed by Srila Rupa Goswami, Adav Shraddha Tatha Sadhu. In this way, one's life becomes perfect and his attachment for Krishna becomes positively manifested. In that stage, he is situated in ecstasy, experiencing bhav and anubhav as explained in the following verses. Bhav, that is emotion. Anubhav, there are 8 kinds of bhavas that is described, and an anubhav that follows the bhav. And how we, so these are the different stages are there. So these verses are talking about that rati, what are the symptoms of rati? And we are at a advanced stages of bhakti. Upon hearing about the incomparable qualities and pastimes of the Lord, the devotee becomes choked up. His hair first sattvic bhav, they develop uh, choked up. His hairs stand on end, his voice falters, his eyes shed tears, he sings, shouts, shouts and dances as if haunted by a ghost. He laughs and cries. He meditates, contemplates, offers respect to all, breathes heavily, gives up shame, and, and shouts like a madman, Hare Krishna, O Narayan, O Master of the universe. In this way, the devotee, he has all the success bhav, and he does not care about the public's opinion, what they say. So Deshamrat also gives similar points that different verses. One who lives in his Krishna Bhavanamrita, he does not think himself to be the body. And one should not see whether he is like Astavakra. He was a very strong devotee, but someone laughed at him. And because Rupa Goswami, he was meditating on this on spiritual world. But then when he was laughing, the activity of the Radharani and Krishna's playful mood, but this Astavakra thought that he is laughing at me. So when this happened, whether it was Astavakra, someone else, Astavakra was long time ago. Some another man was killed in many places. So, but his meditation of the spiritual kingdom was gone. Whose meditation? Rupa Goswami's. Then he asked this elder brother, who is like his guru, uh, and Sanatan Goswami. Then he told that you must have offended some Vaishnava. So, but he did not know. So they invited everybody, but one person did not come. And he said that you go and call him. So he went, called him, explained him everything. Then he forgave him, and then he could see uh, uh, the spiritual kingdom. And so they could meditate and reach to the spiritual kingdom, the advanced devotees like Rupert Sanatan. Even if the devotee is born in a uh, lower family, if his group or his uh, group means his bodily features are not good, or he is sick, or he has no strength, he can't even walk. But but if he's a devotee, and ordinarily you could see all these defects. But even in spite of all this, he is a devotee. We should not look into those. Just like Ganges water, even if so many pollutions come in that, but it does not become contaminated. Same thing, a devotee is never contaminated. You माम च यो अव्यभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते सगुणान संकीर्तेता ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. One who is devoted avyabhichari bhakti, then he does not fall down. Then he will cross over these physical defects and he will receive the Brahma Pad, the topmost of planet. So even if it's durachari, apichetsu duracharo, भजते माम अनन्य भाग साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्य व्यवस्थितो ईश्वर. That we should accept him even if he's doing some means vyabhichar, not vyabhichar, durachar, means abominable activity, sudurachar, most abominable activity. But if he's chanting the holy name of the Lord, then you should accept him as a devotee, because by the strength of the holy name and by chanting, he will get corrected. He will become Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashad Shanti Nigachati Kaunteya Pratijani Name Bhakta Pranashati. So, one who is engaged in holy name of the Lord, or his Leela, or his activities, Charitra, Karyakala, it is like anyone, like if it is sweet candy, you eat from anywhere and it is sweet. But if somebody who is diseased with jaundice, then he cannot taste the sweetness. But the cure of this mortal jaundice is to go on chanting the holy name of the Lord. And that will gradually his taste will develop. And he will become. So, Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smratyo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tistan Vraje Tadanuragi Jananugami Kalam Naed Akila Mrityupadesha Saram. The whole sar, sum and substance of the whole spiritual life, at 24 hours, one should be absorbed or one should be engaged in the name of the Lord. Naam is Roop, his beauty of the Supreme Lord, his qualities, his leelas, and then we should remember all those things, chanting the holy name, or Sankirtan means together with other devotees. So our tongue and the mind should always be engaged in serving the Lord in this way. And then if it's possible, he could live in Brajgam or near a temple where he could go and do some practical services. And then we should associate the devotees there and serve Krishna and the Vaishnavas. And one who are devotees, then one should serve in their footsteps. Mahajanoyen Gata Sapanta. So this is from somewhat Deshamrat that we were talking about. And so how these verses are taught that we should, particularly that we should remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead almost 24 hours. And how to remember, how to, that is, how to do this kind of bhakti, what it requires. So Gita is telling Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara Yudhacha Mayar Titamano Buddhir Buddhi Mam Eva Esha Esha Sanshaya. So there is no doubt about this, that Tasmat Sarveshu Kala. He is telling Arjun that every moment that you should remember Krishna and Anusmara, and then you do the Krishna is telling Arjun about this, that your mind should be on Krishna, and then you do your activity, and then you do your activity means shooting in such a sharp is. So mind is on Krishna. How it is possible for Arjun? He has to put his mind on the fighting. So why? And why Krishna is saying this, and what is the practical? Without senses cannot work without combination with the mind. First, the mind decides what to do, how to shoot, to whom to shoot, in what way, what arrow, so that your mind should also be there. If mind is there, then how could remember Krishna? Because mind would remember Krishna. Remembrance is the job of the mind who remembers inside. So how it could be done? So senses cannot work without the mind. There is a need for the help. Whatever this eye and ears they are working, that is all working because of the mind is there. If mind is not there, they cannot see, they cannot listen, they cannot speak. So everybody remember this. So this kind of fine work of shooting, how it could be done without mind and intelligence, both has to be there. And then at the same time, it says Dharma Sarveshu Kalesh, Mam Anuspar. But Krishna is saying that you could all the time, means 24 hours, Tasmat Sarveshu Mam Anusmara. You remember me, Anu Ismara. So how it is to be done. Then another verses are there. Yo Mam Ismriti Nityashaha Ananya Cheta Satatam Yo Mam Smriti Nityasha Ananya Cheta Ananya, not anywhere else, only to Krishna, and not to any demigods, not to any another form of God. Mam Ananya Cheta Sapata, Krishna is telling Arjuna that always you without your focus or attention, Ananya Cheta, without means without anyone else, just me only. Mam is Smriti, if you remembers me, Nityasha, all the time. Tashyam or that person, very easy to be obtained. I could and he is united with me, Ananya Chetas. So how to do it? That's what Tesham. So Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paripasate Tesham Nityavi Yuktanam Yogakshemam Ahami. So what? Ananya Chintayanta. Ananya Chinta. So Ananya means no one else, only to Krishna. You think of him. ये ये जना पर्युपासते, one who follows in this way, so then he is tesham nityabhiyuktanam. He is yukta, he is united with me, he is with me, and I take care, he is united with me, and I take care of yoga and shame. Whatever you have, he protects him, and whatever he does not have, then he provides him. Yoga kshema. Yoga means uniting with what you don't have, and kshema means protection. He gives both. So also it has been said, Tesham Stati Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayanti Te Tesham. So this is from 10, I think, the 10th chapter, 10th verse. Tesham, so this is Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Tesham Satati Yuktanam Bhajatam, that one who is Satat, means continuously by all his endeavors, Bhajatam, who does bhajan, means devotional service, Priti Purva, with love and devotion. He gives them the intelligence by which they can come to him. So now it seems like there is a contradiction. One that says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. That by every time Anusmara Yuddhacha, you fight also. And so do your activity. And so there are Kshatriya has his activity and Brahman has his activity. So you do your activity, but remember me all the time. Sarveshu Kaleshu. So two kinds of karma. So then where there is mind and intelligence is attached, and this and one that one minor that is just sayog. It is just somehow not completely attached, but another kind of work where mind and intelligence is also attached to that. If we understand these two, then we can understand that Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manuspara Yuddhacha. Like say, this Pativarat, one who is a very chaste lady, and her husband is in England, and she loves her husband very much. Her husband is coming after 4 years, and then she lovingly, with attachment that my husband is coming, she made many preparations, and uh, with loving words, then she served him nicely, asking him about his well-being, asking him whether the food was good, did he like it, and the husband said yes. Then after some time, his woman became like she could not cook. She became sick. So she told her Rasoya, one who makes the food, the cook, that you do activity, you do make such and such thing in such and such time, and so many different like vegetables and so different things. And Rasoya, he was a servant, paid servant, and he said, yes, sir. Yes, my dear lady, I will do according to what you said. He started the making, and then woman was coming, and then all the time she was instructing him. And then this cook also asked him that it was the food good, and her husband said, yes, it was. So in karma activity, both are the same, but the taste of the food was similar, but there is a difference in their activity. Uh, the woman's mind and intelligence was attached to the husband, and but mind was there and intelligence was there of the Rasuya of the cook, but he was not attached. How do you know that? When when that woman went to her husband, her neighbor, her friend, and she was so much happy, so much dancing, uh, dancing ecstasy. Oh, आज हमारे वे आए हैं, my husband has come, and then she embraces uh, her her friend in this way. But when this Rasoia, her cook, went to his house, and he was telling, "Na jaane from where this man has already come, this master, and his wife was instructing me so much that मेरा कचूमर निकल गया. I got so much tired and took 4 hours, and she was giving order after order, whether uh, whether I'm tired or I'm dying or whatever happened, she does not care. So this is the worst kind of service. I would not like to become a cook." So he was saying like this. So his wife uh, has love for her husband. She was attached to her husband. Karma you are doing with asakti. But Rasuya, the cook, does not have that kind of love or asakti or attached. He is just doing his duty. Just like in a hospital, so we conclude on all this by this example that how to work, that you could do work, and uh, and then still it is Anusmari, you could remember Krishna, how it could be done. There was like a nurse, she produces like she's a midwife and produces a lot of children, and that one child he dies. She goes and she tells mother, we are very sorry. That is usual that we try to do well, whatever we can, but it's not in our hand. And your son is dead now. You could go and see him. But when that, uh, so that is, but when that goes, so that is the nurse is saying, and she engages in some another delivery because she has no attachment. But the mother, her condition is very, very, very bad. That was the first child. Now he's dead, and she's crying and telling everybody. And so she was so much. The nurse had no attachment. She just said verbally, "Okay, I did my duty and finished." But this mother had so much duty. When the mother had so much attachment, and she was crying for many, many days, just like in a bank, a teller counts so much money, but he is not attached to what money is counting. But he his 500 rupees fell down on the ground, and he was looking, and he was cursing to himself that what kind of irresponsible man I am, and I lost. So he was counting so many millions of dollars or rupees. He did not care about it. But now, because it was his, was attached to that money, he's so much worried. And all day his mind was on that money. It was not a government money or bank money, it was his personal money. So there is one is with attachment that you work, and another is without attachment. So, like a judge, he uh, judges like he is not attached to the results. He gives punishment or benediction to somebody according to their activity, but he is not attached. But the person, another person, is attached that why he is not a good man, he give me so much, like I would be hanged up, and but he does not care about uh, the judge. So there are many stories that you just say, like one father. Can you hear all right? Hare Krishna. Can you hear everyone?
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you.
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear.
Okay. Okay. So I told you about the judge, that he has no love or animosity with both sides, both parties, and he gives the proper judgment without attachment. Like one doctor, one man's son had Sannipat. Sannipat means it's completely like he did not know. He was just in any way, yeah, very high fever and speaking so many nonsense words. So the man goes to bring the doctor, and he had to wait for some time, and then he tells him, and he describes, okay, maybe such and such. He comes there and he brings such medicines, and he will be all right. So he writes him. But why this man is so much crying? And because he was attached to that son. Something may happen wrong, and what I will do. So in this way, rag rahit. So in sometimes the mother, like a child is crying because of some badhaji, and then mother does not know, so she gives him more milk, and he starts more crying. Then it is. So what the conclusion of all these stories are, that raga without attachments without which you cannot live. You are so much attached. That's all in all. Uh, so without attachment, if you work, then it is a proper duty. Like doctor or manager, you could do the proper duty. So one should not get attached. So our attachment should be with Krishna only, not with the worldly people. So in love, there is sometimes some problems happen. And then we just seeing him, touching him, you feel more, more practically. You feel more nice. So in that way, your intelligence is really blunted. You cannot decide properly what to be done. And if you are with envy, also again the same thing, you lose envy and growth and calm. Like you are angry, and then again you cannot decide properly what to do. So if we love Krishna, only Krishna, and then we do activity in the sansar, so that way your sansar work, your activity in the material world will do, and then to get the Ishwar Prapti, you will be able to get Krishna. So that is how these gopis do. And so we could understand by that. And in Bhagavad Gita also there are some things there. Yadohane avahanane. This is from Bhagavatam. Mathanopale prekhena rudito kshana marjanado gayanti chenam anurakta dhiyo Shrukantyo, means these gopis, they will do all kinds of home activity, but their mind was on Krishna because they loved Krishna. Just like Janak Maharaj, that he was doing so much, and Dhruva and Prahlad, they were doing all their work, uh, taking care of the whole state or whole country was not easy. But same thing, Arjun is fighting, but his mind, now you say that mind is only one, how it could be there. But our attachment is with Krishna, then you will be able. He gives you the intelligence from within. That way you could do both. You are thinking of Krishna within, and you could do the work. So Bhagavad Gita gives yoga karmasu kaushalam. Buddhi yukto 250. Bhagavad Gita 250. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrita duskriti tasmad yogaya yujyashva yoga karma su kaushala. That yoga means jor or attachment. So that Gita is telling that what Gita is telling, that you get attached to Krishna, and every activity you will do would become a devotional service. Just like a wheel is running, but the dhuri, the axle, it does not run. So we should put our mind on Krishna and and do your activity by your senses. Working. Hare Krishna. When you start driving a car, motor vehicle, when you start driving, then what happens? When you are driving, initially you have to put so much attention. But when you are perfect at that, then you do not have to watch so much. You could eat, you could do all other activity, and still you are driving. So it depends on this. See, so by putting our attachment to Krishna, then you could do separate by your senses, and your mind is still on Krishna. This just like a woman who has a paramour. The example, a woman has a paramour, and then she does all the activity of the home very, very nicely, so very no suspicion. But her mind is on the paramour. But her activity is going on. So in this way, two things in this karma yoga that we are talking about yoga. One is ananyata, unanya, no one else. We have to love Krishna only, and then that is one thing. And ananyata, that is one thing. And secondly, we have to think of Rupa Dhyan. We have to think of Krishna. This picture should come in our mind. Like a lady, she was coming to Bhagavad Katha, and Bhagavad book was wrapped in a red cloth, and then she was crying all the time when she was listening. So this Katha Vachak thought that the lady so much love Bhagavatam and my Bhagavatam recitation. So when the last day came, she did not come. So he went to her house and asked that, Mata, you did not come the last day. You were so much crying and so much emotional on hearing the Bhagavatam. He thought that she would give him a big money. But he said that, Maharaj, my son has shoes which are of the same red color as your cloth of the Bhagavatam. And by just seeing the red, I was remembering my grandson, and that's how I had no love for Bhagavatam. I was not even listening. My mind was on my grandson and his activity. So just like, so ananya, that is first thing, and the Rupa Dhyan. Rupa Dhyan is thinking of the big transcendental form of the Lord, Rupa Dhyan. So Ananyata means just a story. Draupadi, that we should depend on Krishna, just like Draupadi initially thought that I have 5 husbands, they will protect me. When Dushasana was pulling her hair and bringing them to the Sabha, so he thought that I will be able to, my husband will protect, but they became slaves, they sold themselves. So वो दांव पर लगा दिए थे पति अपने आप को. इसके बाद में she was thinking that there is my grandfather, my in-law, they are there, commander-in-chief, they will protect me. But somehow, nobody paid any attention. They thought that I will be able to protect myself. So she put little sari on her teeth, under her teeth. And how long it could last? He had 10,000 elements strength. So it immediately gave. Then she immediately raised her hand and then surrendered to Krishna. So Ananyatya. So from her heart, then when that happened, that she was thinking of Krishna without any another, her mind was not anybody else that they will protect. Then Krishna came and protect. Just like the Gajaraja also. So Ananya Chintayantam Ye Jana Padipasate Desham Nityabhiyuktana Yogashema Vahamiyam. Like we will love some Krishna, but we also love so many demigods. And That way you cannot achieve success. A Bhagat Prapti cannot happen. It's not possible. So our mind is one. Either it is uh, Krishna or so many other demigods or some. So if they come, all they come. There is no need for this. In Krishna, everybody, all the demigods, even his expansions, Swamsatattva is also included. So in that way, if we surrender to Krishna, then you could do your activity. Your mind is on Krishna. Now you see your mind and man is only one. It could only be at one place, either in fighting or Arjun or doing our activity. But subconscious mind, there is conscious mind and subconscious mind. That will just like in driving, it is the subconscious mind continuously acts and you could perform your activity always thinking of Krishna. So your mind is on your activity, but subconscious mind thinks of the Lord. That my Lord is there. He will protect me. Like somebody sitting, Prabhupada was sitting in a train, local train, and his son was there, Abhaycharan was there. And Abhaycharan, and they were friendly, his father and the conductor. So conductor says, you get down, do you have a ticket? He says, no. Then he says that, oh, my father is. So in mind that his father, he will protect me, he is there. Then same thing that if we think that Krishna is there, he will protect me. And that would be the only purely that we think of this. Because he is the. So by worshipping Krishna, Ek Chhatra, Krishna wants Ananya, no one else. Like when we say Yoga Kshema Mam, Sarva Dharman Parit Mam Ekam, Ek means only appeal to Krishna, Shanam Raja. So without endeavoring so much, we just focus on Krishna, and that way we could advance further. So we get, yeah. Ekanurag, just like a chaste lady has only love, but she respects all the other relatives of the husband, but not in this like neighbor, jet, saas, sasur, naukar. That is other buddhi, the respect is there, but uh, her mind is always on, he is my husband, he will take care. In that way, just like Bhagavad Gita says, Yanti Devrata Devan, Pitran Yanti Pitrata, Bhutani Yanti Bhutija, Yanti Madhyajana Kurma. One who worships demigod, they go to the demigod. Not that you worship anybody and you attain Krishna low. That's not possible. If you worship your forefathers, you go to the forefather place. If you worship ghosts and goblins, then you go to their place. And but one who worships any Madhya Jino Imam, then they come to me. In this way, Mama Eva, so Devi Esha Gunamai, Mama Maya Durateya, Mama Eva Patyante, Maya Mitam, Tarantite. That you could free from yourself from this Maya. Tameva Shanam Garacha. This is also Gita. 18. Tameva Shanam Garacha. Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Tat Prasadat Param Shantim. Sthanam Pradasi Shashwata. That you will get the place, Shashwat place. You will come to my abode, that there is no again repeated birth, death, old age, disease. You do not know. So in this way, we could do both things together. That's how I try to give certain examples, and that's what I mentioned. Now, so Tasmat Sarvata Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagwan Hari Ishwari Shotavya Kirtavya Smartavya Smartavya. So all this that Tasmat. So Sundar Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj that my dear Parikshit, that by attaching grass of people, Putra, Kalatra, Vitta, Dhan, these are all cause of Maya Bandhan. But if you worship Krishna and chant about their holy names and do Leela, describe about them in Leela, then that is our duty. Ismartavyam Satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna, Vishnu or Krishna. Vismartavyam. No jatuchi. Even for a moment, do not have to kabhi bhi, never that you forget him. Sarve Vidhi, sab Vidhi is what to do and what not to do. That is contained in this two one sentence. Vismartavyam Satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna, never forget him. So that is the main theme, that if we could accept and do it, then naturally we will be able to advance in Krishna consciousness. Different. So here also there is that you do according to your work, what kind of work that. So then there is Krishna gives an saying, 12th chapter of 7th canto, that there are 4 kinds of classes that Krishna has done, and one should do activity according to what the brahmachari should do, and a student should practice completely controlling his senses. He should be submissive, should have an attitude of friendship for the spiritual master. With a great vow, the brahmachari should live at the Gurukul only for the benefit of the Guru. So in this way, many instructions are given in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad, Bhagvatam, everywhere, that how one should live according to their word and ashram, how we should think. Our real goal of life is to, everybody has a goal of life, but our goal for the human form is to please Krishna, not to please. We are all part of Krishna, because Krishna is eternal. We don't want to die, because Krishna, eternality is there. We don't want to die. We don't want to live at a place. And what we are looking is always pain and ananda. Ananda maya bhyasa. Always we are looking for bliss. Whatever activity we do, but ultimate aim is to be blissed, be happy. That is ultimate aim for everybody. So how to do that? Then all our scriptures, they teach us that how we can be happy in any stage of life and any activity you do, but we should have to put Krishna in the center, like this just lady is always remembering her husband and doing everything. So our husband is really this Krishna. And we should always depend on him and act upon him. And we should get that bhav. Bhav means emotion to be attached to Krishna. So what are the symptoms of rati? Upon hearing about the incomparable atulya qualities and pastimes of the Lord, the devotee becomes choked up. His hairs asked sattvic bhav. There before. So Narayan, O Master of the universe, we chant in that way and we become very happy. So then I will end here. It's almost an hour. If you have any questions or comments about this Siksha, you could read this Sanatan Siksha that has been given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatan Goswami in Banaras. For almost 2 months they discussed together. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak on these important verses, the instructions. What Prahlad Maharaj learned in the womb, and that should be learned from at least 5 years age. And that would be the proper age to start learning about Krishna. Although Prahlad Maharaj learned in the womb when he was not even out in the womb, but because he put his mind and attention, because Prahlad is a Nitya Siddha devotee who was sent by Krishna to give us, teach us the lessons. Sometimes the devotees from the spiritual world, Nitya Mukta, and we are all sadhana siddha. We could become perfection. Siddha means perfection. We could become perfect by our sadhana. So sadhana we have to do. We are on the way to that, and we should act according to scripture and intention. But first thing is I wanted to read about 64 items, but it will take a lot of time. So Guru Padash. Thank you, Hare Krishna. You can unmute and ask questions, whatever you may have. Questions, comments, any kind of discussions.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you so much for this nectarian class. I don't have any question, but I will request devotees, if you have any question, please ask and go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you unmute and
Dandavat Pranam, always Krishna Prabhupada. for such a wonderful class, the nectarian class, and your presence is so much purifying. I have one question regarding Prahlad Maharaj and Narada Muni. So Narada Muni was Prahlad Maharaj's guru, but Prahlad Maharaj never saw Narada Muni. So he did
Everybody
oral
was
research.
listening, or if there is
Yes,
no
he was.
question, we can end
So he couldn't
our
ask
Zoom
any
call.
question. So the Prahlad Maharaj couldn't ask any question. He only listened. So he was still a guru and the guru. So my question is, can you hear me? Yeah, Maharaj, we can hear you. I think you're not able to hear us.
Somehow, I
Hare
cannot
Krishna?
hear. Okay. Yes. Hello.
Yes,
Hare Krishna
Maharaj.
Maharaj, can you hear us now?
Somehow there
can you
is
hear
some
me,
problem. Okay. Tell me, I will put in the ear and.
Can you hear me, Maharaj?
You have to unmute.
I have unmuted.
Yeah, I
Hare
think
Krishna
there must
Maharaj,
be
we
some
can
audio
hear.
problem.
Yeah, we can
Hare
hear
Krishna.
you both. Yeah.
Okay.
Maharaj, I have a question regarding Prahlad Maharaj and Guru Narada Muni. So Prahlad Maharaj heard Narada Muni gave Narada Muni oral reception while being in the womb of his mother, but he was not able to ask any question or from the Narada Muni. So the Guru Tattva, some people say that the Guru should be living. The Vapu is important. So here Prahlad Maharaj didn't have a interaction with the Vapu Guru. He had interaction with the Vani Guru only. So
Vani. No, I understand. Vani is more important. Whatever instruction he is given, you remember that should become like Prabhupada made his guru, his Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada, only 4 times in whole life. But his Vani that you preach in the English speaking world, and he meditated on that practically whole life. He was told at age of 22 years, and then later on it took him 30-40 years to come to United States. So Vani is more important. Everybody cannot serve Vapu. That is not necessary, or that is not practical. Like Prabhupada had said, 10,000 disciples. How many could be with him at the same time? But he sent them. You go and start center there, you preach there, you distribute books, you print books, you start developing incense business. So many things he told them. And the disciples, sincerely, they did it. That's why they are glorified.
So my question
I had to put in the
is,
yes,
Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. So related to that question is whether it is required to have a guru in Vapu or the guru in Vani itself is enough to choose a
both
guru.
to choose a guru, Vani and Vapu, both. But Vani is more important than the Vapu, the body, because you don't know. So both. So it should be a living guru, and then yes, sometimes the guru may leave the body. They may live here, but his instructions are there, and instructions are not particularly. It may be to particular person, but it may be a general instruction, as spreading Krishna consciousness. So their mission statement, that his mission is there for his movement. So every guru has some mission in their life, and a disciple should fulfill that mission. That is their duty, to fulfill the mission of the spiritual master. So participate in the mission. Like Prabhupada started ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So everybody is serving, is subordinate to those instructions. Are there 7 rules of that? It is given in every Back to Godhead magazine. So you could read that, and everybody is following that. Even the GBCs or whatever they may be, but still they are following the instruction what Prabhupada, as if he was living what he would like. So people are thinking on every instruction whether he will be happy or not. Does he want this or he does not want that? So they see from life's example how he lived while he was living, and now they are still following. So Prabhupada is not here for last 50 years or so, but his instruction are there, and everybody's Prabhupada Anuga means following to Srila Prabhupada. And all the other spiritual masters also follow Srila Prabhupada. GBCs follow Srila Prabhupada. So that is all Vani. Few people was taking care. I have to get a better system. I am trying to get Wi-Fi so all others can listen properly. Okay.
Okay, Maharaj. Okay, Maharaj. Yes, and yes, Maharaj.
No,
Thank
both are
you.
important. Yeah, you cannot say that I just have Prabhupada as my guru. That's not proper. None of the Shastras says that. So Prabhupada said that until I am here, the people who movement, they are my disciple. But when I am not there, then whoever is initiating, they become a disciple of those person who is appointed as a spiritual master. Okay.
Okay, Maharaj.
Yeah, Hare Krishna
Any other
Maharaj.
question?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhamma Pranam, this is Radhanam Das. Maharaj, because the instructions are coming all the way from Lord Shri Krishna, right?
Proper. Okay.
Yeah. So, we are following those instructions from in the Guru Parampara, right? So the question is, if you're following the instructions, and we are initiated into the Parampara, right, Maharaj?
Right. Correct.
Yeah. So then Vapu should not be that important, right? The Vani, because we are initiated into that instructions. Is that correct understanding?
Yeah, but still at the same time, Vapu has to be to serve the spiritual master. That is also another form of service. So it's not that one-sided I do this and not do the other side. Both are important, but until the spiritual master is alive. So Vani and Vapu both are important. We cannot just stress there, then otherwise, like we will forget all Srila Prabhupada, who started this. He took so much trouble. So same way, any another guru should Vapu should also be taken care of. Otherwise, how the movement would go on? So Vani is one thing, uh, and then all other spiritual master has their some kind of to serve Srila Prabhupada in their own way. Everybody has a different way of serving Srila Prabhupada, and the disciples' duty is to assist him in his service to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada in his service to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Parampara. But we cannot take just Parampara directly and just go on with our thinking. That way you will minimize the position of the Guru, but he should be accepted as Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastri Muktas Tatha Bhavyate Eva Sadvi Kintu Prabhorya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So Krishna wants that there should be he, especially it is his desire that Guru, otherwise Guru worship and would not be there. One should worship the Guru and recall, remember him and do service. Vapu and then Vani also.
Last rites तक करवा सकता है क्या गुरु से?
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any other comments, criticisms, corrections? See, Krishna shows by his own example. He went to what is his need, but he is the Supreme Lord. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Ram, Krishna, they all went to Gurukul and served their menial services to their gurus. You all know the stories.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes.
So, anyone else has any other? Should we end now?
Yes, Maharaj. If nobody has any question or comment, so we can end up the call here. My very best
Okay.
wishes. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमः ठाकुर
शिला प्रभुपाद की जय।
His Holiness Swami Krishi Maharaj की जय।
जय।
भक्तवृंद की
Thank you,
जय।
Maharaj.
शिला
Hare
प्रभुपाद
Krishna.
की जय।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you so much,
Krishna,
Maharaj. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol,
कृष्ण
Hari
कृष्ण
Bol.
हरे हरे
Hare